a Playlyst original.
Welcome to the Pilot Podcast,
where we review the pilot episodes of TV shows to answer your question, should I watch this?
My name is BJ.
And my name is Me Too.
And this week, we're watching Wayward on Netflix, Cat's Eye on Hulu, Chad Powers on Hulu, and Haunted Hotel on Netflix.
So stay tuned to the end to find out what BJ's specialized school would teach.
Science.
Okay. With
Right.
that revealed right at the top.
Well, how about you tell us about another school that I bet you does not teach science?
At all. You're talking about Wayward on Netflix. Alex, played by show creator and showrunner and writer of this episode, Mae Martin, is a small-town cop who suspects a local school for troubled teens and its dangerously charismatic leader, Evelyn, played by Toni Collette, may not be all that it seems. As Alex continues to investigate, aided by students Lila, played by Olivia Allen Lind, and Abby, played by Sydney Topliff, town secrets are revealed.
What I like about this show is they don't want you to question at all what Tall Pines is about, because we actually start with a creepy scene of a teen trying to escape.
Yes. And this show really sits for me within this universe of all of these stories coming out, both fiction and nonfiction, of these troubled teen schools and these like very conservative boarding schools where, because they sit outside of like public school systems, they're just not regulated. And then you have people like Evelyn doing whatever. And so they had this really fantastic opening action sequence of a kid who had been fed up.
Reached a limit, jumped in a nasty swamp just to get away.
That's how you know it's real.
And we also know what's real are the troubles that two other teens are going through. What did you think about our kind of friend troubled teen side storyline?
I thought it was such beautiful storytelling. I think it took a really empathetic writing approach to be able to write these troubled teens who are making bad decisions, who are self-destructing. They're portrayed with such heart by both the storytelling and the actors themselves, because ultimately these are kids who need help, they need empathy, they need resources, and instead they're being bullied by their own parents in different ways. When Abby's dad joins in teasing like what she's wearing and her backpack to his coworkers, I was really blown away by that. I was like, okay, bullying the daughter sounds good. And so I understood why they were rebelling. And I thought that it was really beautiful and heart-wrenching storytelling to understand that eventually, based on the premise, this is not a big spoiler, both of these kids will end up at this creepy school.
Right. I agree. I think they have a lot of heart in the storytelling. And to be honest, besides their substance abuse, I think they seem like just normal teens.
Yes.
They don't love school, so maybe they don't keep up with all their assignments, but they don't seem like rowdy kids who are committing crimes and causing trouble for society. They're just kind of unloved at home, which is sad.
Exactly. There are no bad kids. There are just bad circumstances. So I really appreciated the way that Abby and Lila were portrayed. And I think that that also helps us to really ground our experience of the school. We don't yet get to see them in school in this first episode. I just understand that they'll end up there again based on the premise of the show. So I think it was smart to bring us into how they ended up there to really ground what we'll see as the show goes forward. And then I like also the mystery of the town. It seems like this Tall Pines Academy, the creepiness of this leader, Evelyn, played by the wonderful Toni Collette. We finna get you that Oscar, girl. Don't worry. I thought that the town felt like an extension of her woo-woo creepiness.
Yes, while we have not seen Tall Pines Academy yet, we do get to see the small town of Tall Pines through Alex, moving there with his partner, and Alex seems to be the audience's eyes into this world, because we quickly learn this is a creepy place and no one asks questions. No one seems concerned with odd things happening. And honestly, I just want Alex to move.
Yes, in every sense. Move out of the way when Laura tries to feed you food from the doorstep. Move away when Laura and your police partner engage in the creepy staring thing. Move from this precinct, move from this town. Just truly start running, like pick a direction. Go, don't stop. I thought that the scene between Alex and Evelyn when they first meet was so dense. Like there are so many lines, almost throwaway lines of Evelyn saying odd things, and the way Mae Martin plays it on their face, like these little like, huh. Like, for example, when Evelyn says about the missing student, he'll turn up when he's hungry. They always do. And Alex is like, what? Like, what did she just say?
Always.
Like, what do you mean always? And when he's hungry, are we talking about dogs? Are we talking about kids?
Yes, there were even inconsistencies with the timeline, and clearly everyone wanted Alex to stop thinking about it.
Yes. Also, why are there no doors?
Alex also asked that, and Laura brushed it off.
Alex moved into that house and said, wife, there are no doors. I'm just seeing hinges. And his wife said, must be a quirk of the home. Excuse me?
And light spoiler, there's even a fake door. Someone was so desperate for a door, they just painted a door on a wall.
Like, that's not deeply unsettling? Yeah, so Alex, it's time for you to run. But Beej, do you want to run to watch more episodes of Wayward on Netflix?
I don't think I would run. Maybe I would power walk. I could see myself watching this while cooking. I really like the mystery of Tall Pines, the town, and the school. And I really hope Alex can save all of the children.
I agree. And that is why it'll be difficult for me to watch. I want to share my very honest rating.
Okay.
I will look up what happens at the end, and that determines if I watch. Because this first episode was so good that if things don't turn out well for at least Abby, then I don't know if I can keep watching. Because this feels like one of those miniseries where there's going to be a tough, open-ended ending. Oh. And if it's like everybody stays in the town, or one of these children gets really hurt and we're not sure how things end up, or whatever that looks like, or Laura turns out to be even creepier than we expected, something tough, I don't know that I can keep watching. But for Mystery Hive, if you have the constitution for a potentially bad or open-ended ending, and I'm not even mad at open-ended, let me say, I just want Abby to be okay.
We get too many cliffhangers nowadays.
That's true. So for Mystery Hive, if you're open to that, no pun intended, then I think you should watch again seriously, because this was very, very good. But for me, I will look up how it ends, and then I'm going to decide.
I appreciate your honesty.
All right. Why don't you take us from Tall Pines to Cat's Eye Cafe?
You're talking about Cat's Eye on Hulu. This is a new adaptation of Tsukasa Hojo's best-selling manga series. It follows the three Kasugi sisters, Hitomi, Rui, and Ai, who lead a double life. By day, they run a small, unassuming establishment called the Cat's Eye Cafe. And by night, they transform into a notorious group of high-stakes art thieves known as Cat's Eye in a quest to recover their long-lost father's artwork.
What is so funny to me is that Hitomi's fiance, or boo thing, is Toshio, a clumsy officer who is investigating the case. Mm-hmm. And the way that he did not piece together the puzzle pieces of the cafe is called Cat's Eye Cafe. Mm-hmm. every time something is robbed, a card is left with Cat's Eye written on it.
Mm-hmm.
And he even asks his girlfriend or fiance. He says, change the name of your coffee shop. You don't want to be associated with these robbers. And she goes, the coffee shop, we opened it first before these robberies started. That doesn't set an alarm bell off in your brain?
Right. And there's 3 employees at Cat's Eye Cafe, and there's 3 members of the Cat's Eye team. Huh.
Who don't wear masks when they rob, I have to say.
This is the most smoke bombs I've ever seen in the show. They are throwing these left and right.
To our friends and siblings in Tokyo, y'all have just like smoke bombs everywhere, or how does it work? Like you can buy them at whatever your equivalent of CVS is?
I guess whatever that cafe's distributor is, they also sell smoke bombs.
It has to be. It has to be like, let me get a bunch of eggs, flour, sugar, smoke bombs, maple syrup, like just truly stocking up.
I do like that each of the sisters has their like special tea that they're bringing to the team. They have Hitomi, who's the athletic, sporty one, Ai, who is the genius tech hacker, and Rui, who is like the brains logistics planner.
And I thought that lent itself to really good action scenes. I enjoyed the action. What I will say is I was confused that this first episode focused on just a couple successful robberies rather than explaining a bit more of why they're robbing. So we have it in the summary of the show. Like I went into this show understanding that they're reclaiming artwork that belonged to their father, though where their father got some of this artwork, unclear. But I wish that they had explained that in this first episode, and also what they hope to do with it, because he's long lost.
Right.
So what are you gathering it for?
That's true. We don't have much of their motivation beyond that brief line in the premise. The sisters don't even say why they're doing this. And it seems like this old school story, older style of storytelling, our heroines are never going to fail, or it's going to be very unlikely for them to fail.
Yeah.
Which makes it more important that we know why they're doing this.
I agree. And it also helps to set aside some of the other manga storytelling where it's like a lot of focusing on these women's breasts.
Yep.
Like just a lot of that. But when you set that aside, fun, silly, good action, just wish there was a bit of a why.
So will you watch more episodes of Cat's Eye on Hulu, and why?
For me, I would watch occasionally. That's, I would say, a step below casually. This is not really my chosen genre, but it was fun. It was fun to see their antics. It's fun to see the creative ways that they rob. It's fun to see all the smoke bombs. So I think that will be fun to engage. I'm just not so curious about what happens because so little like meaningful plot happened about why they're doing this or why they care so much. So I also have not invested, let's say, significant care in that. But it's fun and literally bright. Like it's fun, bright colors too. What about you?
I agree with all that. It's fun. It's bright. I don't feel like they gave enough. So I would not watch again. And not because it's bad. I think it didn't excite me.
Yeah.
And it also reminds me of like Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner. And I'll be honest, even as a kid, I got frustrated with that duo of him never catching the Roadrunner.
You wanted him to catch the Roadrunner, or you just wanted it to finish, whatever it is?
I wanted him to catch him at least once.
Okay.
And I feel like Cat's Eye will never be caught by Toshio, and I don't think I want to be disappointed.
Real. So if you're Wile E. Coyote Hive, y'all need to be careful about this show.
Exactly. So how about we go from Tokyo to the football field?
You're talking about Chad Powers on Hulu. Russ Holiday, played by Gwen Powell, who is also the show's co-creator, has a no good, very bad, horrible day, and he becomes a disgraced star quarterback. So his solution is prosthetics, a wig, and some drag to mount a comeback as Chad Powers, and joins a floundering football team at a small school.
So, me too. What do you think about this plan? You know, if you are too recognizable for a second chance, change your face.
I do think it's interesting how much of his identity is tied with football. You and I both grew up in the South where we understand that football is king.
Mhm.
Like, I understand why this matters so much to him and why culturally, even at this tiny college, it is a tiny college in Georgia, so they really care about the football.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a sustainable plan? I'm not sure. But what helps his chances is mascot Danny, played by Frankie Rodriguez. I loved their dynamic.
They're going to be a great duo, and Danny even makes it clear that Chad needs someone, or Russ needs someone, both of them, who can think ahead, because his first thought was how to get to the audition for quarterback. Nothing beyond putting on that wig.
How are you going to shower, Russ? What happens on a particularly sweaty, humid Georgia day? Famously, many of them are particularly hot and sweaty. I just don't know how he was going to do this without Danny. Even Danny's coaching on, like, don't go too deep into your backstory, don't get caught up in the details, just say your name, throw the ball, call it a day.
And we also learn Russ's father, who created these prosthetics, because doing very well in Hollywood, what if he wants it back?
Yeah, unclear.
This wasn't an extra wig and mask. This was one for a specific film.
What I will say is I appreciated the heart in the relationship with the father and in the relationship with Danny. Beyond that, not a lot happens in this first episode. This was 40 minutes of setup, which really surprised me because, as I understand it, this show is adapted from a popular commercial with one of the Manning brothers or both of them. And so if they could explain the premise within however many seconds a commercial is, I was just surprised that in 40 minutes, we have his downfall and him hitting rock bottom. Lots of funny jokes, like a lot of good humor, but then just not a lot of story. I thought they could have done more with Ricky, one of the assistant coaches. I thought they could have done more with his relationship with this main coach. Maybe let's have him have his first challenge. Let's have him take the team shower or have his mustache slip during a sweaty practice or have someone from his past life, for whatever reason, walking around campus and being like, Russ? You know, something like that. Let's have our first oopsie.
Yes, I agree. It was disappointing that we spent, 40 minutes establishing the premise, which didn't take you long to deliver to our listeners now.
Yes.
And there's so much potential for antics and physical humor and more jokes as he's with the team, as he's on the field, as he's back in college. And we don't get to see any of that.
Now, I did laugh a lot because Glenn Powell is very funny, such a charmer. So when he is talking to his agent for a very brief period, and he says something like, you know, dropping out of football is the best thing that would have happened to me. I never would have done the Masked Singer or met my buddies in crypto or in NFTs. That made me laugh. The way they dressed him when he was kind of the jerk side of himself in that beanie and little outfit was funny. I thought the first interaction, like the way Danny confronts him, I don't want to give it away, that made me laugh very, very hard. And I liked the sequencing of Stephen A. Smith talking about his career, cutting to a poster of Mrs. Doubtfire, cutting to Steve Zahn as the coach of this tiny school. I thought that was a good sequence too.
I really like the Mrs. Doubtfire sequence. It did feel a little long. Like,
Yeah,
we got it, he got it, but we all just held that thought for a bit.
a long time. One might say for 35 minutes.
Some might say we could have just watched Mrs. Doubtfire before the episode even ended.
And we would have just understood.
So now that we understand the premise, now that we know it's a funny comedy, will you watch more episodes of Chad Powers on Hulu?
Yes, I will watch again casually. I don't think that there was enough plot in this first episode, but if you're also dramedy hive, comedy hive like I am, I think that there is some foundation there, at least in this all-star cast, that I'm just curious to see where we go next. So actually, I will downgrade from it casually. I will give it maybe like a couple more episodes.
Okay.
And if it picks up, I'll keep watching.
I think this is something maybe I would watch while folding laundry or distracted, doing some chores and errands.
Yeah.
The story seems very light, so I think I would be in it for those funny jokes and funny interactions.
Nice. Well, why don't you take us from a Georgia football field to a creepy hotel?
You're talking about Haunted Hotel on Netflix. Catherine, voiced by Eliza Coupe, along with her children Ben and Esther, move into the Undervale Hotel, which was owned by her deceased brother, Nathan, voiced by Will Forte. However, it is soon revealed that the place is haunted by the quirky, restless spirits of the previous residents, including Nathan, who offers to help Catherine make the hotel's business successful.
So I think that Haunted Hotel felt like the opposite of Chad Powers in that we met each member of this family. We had a great understanding of who they are, how they interact with each other, and we had like an A plot, a B plot, and a C plot.
Yeah, they did it all in less time. Satisfying.
22 minutes.
22 minutes. So much plot, so much humor, so much wholesomeness. Amazing.
And the creepy angle. So I typically don't like stories with ghosts and ghouls and demons and things, of which all appear in this first episode.
Every single one.
But it did have a surprising amount of heart, and it was so funny that it just didn't bother me so much that they were scary things that go bump in the night. I love that they brought in for this plot of this plotting demon the voices of Jennifer Lewis and Keith David, two legendary voices in Hollywood. Like, I just thought that that was such a smart and fun choice. And I liked that we had this, what you were saying before we started recording, this extra character like Brian the dog in Family Guy or the alien in American Family. Is that what it's called?
American Dad.
American Dad, of this little demon Abaddon and inhabiting the body of a young Victorian boy. And I thought it was so smart to have Jimmy Simpson voice that character because for whatever reason, Jimmy Simpson, you're very good at creepy.
You know, if you're good at something, why not do it?
He is so good at creepy roles.
I really enjoyed that little side plot where Esther and Abaddon wanted Ben to flirt with a ghost in order to find out where her body is so they could get, I think, a diamond from the body. And Abaddon wanted the bones for some ritual.
Yes. And I like that obviously all of these things tied together neatly at the end. The other plot that made me laugh was when the ghosts essentially had a union meeting. And so Nathan had to be like almost like a chair and explain to Catherine the demands and vice versa. So where are we allowed to haunt? When? In what way? And I thought that was very funny. I loved the dynamic of that scene because it is forcing her to just wrap her head around and just deal with the fact that she's inherited this hotel And it just comes with a bunch of ghosts, which includes her brother, which is lovely, but a bunch of other people too, and beings and things. And with that, I thought it was just an oddly lovely family story, as strange as that feels to say.
I think it makes a lot of sense because the heart of it is about these two siblings trying to work things out even after one has passed away. And then the kids are not as involved with their uncle in this first episode, but I feel like you can still sense that everyone cares about each other.
And the dynamics feel similar. Catherine has her head straight on. Nathan is more of a head in the clouds and a more feeling person. And then we see that repeated with Ben being a much more naive sibling, and then Esther being the one that's plotting and thinking and strategizing.
What did you think of our 8 plot where we have to resolve how we're going to deal with ghosts in the hotel? Who do we trust to help with that process? And does that mean we also get rid of Nathan?
I thought that was so good. It made me laugh. It made me scared, to be honest. And I thought it was funny. Again, that kind of like union meeting part of it, the negotiating, truly cracked me up.
I thought, and as simple as it was, the funniest part was the different uses of the word boo that had developed in this ghost community. And Catherine just desperately trying to figure out, like, what's the context here? Y'all are using boo so differently.
Boo to say hello, boo to say goodbye, boo as a negative, boo to boo, boo to scare. And then I love that she could never quite say it right for them. That was very funny.
So me too. We already know you like a good, funny comedy.
Especially animated.
So will you watch more episodes of Haunted Hotel on Netflix?
Yes, I will watch again seriously. I think also what BJ's hoping to prompt me to say is that I did go ahead and watch a couple more episodes of this because I had the time.
Whoa.
Okay. And the Oscar goes to Toni Collette still. We're going to get you that Oscar girl. But this was such a fun show. And if you're animated comedy hive, I think you will enjoy Haunted Hotel as well. And I think you will want to watch it seriously too.
I would probably watch again casually. I do think it's fun, funny. It has that same family adult comedy vibe, but I think even a little lighter than like a Family Guy or an American Dad.
Yes.
I don't love all of the humor with the ghosts, but I think I like the rest of it enough that I can keep watching and enjoying it.
All right. And what kind of science would you teach at your special school?
I would really want it to be a well-balanced school, so you'd have all the options from science, physics, chemistry, biology, and, this school also is STEM, so we want you to have technology, engineering, lots of math, and you know what? I will even change it to STEAM, because sometimes people put an A in there.
It's
So
just a school.
Let's have the arts. Just a school. Wow. Not all schools are created equal.
You're just describing school now. And maybe we'll teach them history. And maybe,
and literature.
Let's get a lit class. Yeah.
And foreign languages.
Okay. Well,
but also home economics, cooking. I want them to know how to file taxes before they graduate.
All right. We're going to get you that accreditation.
Metalwork. Oh, and we'll have sports and physical education.
Okay. Now you're just describing like Lakeside High, but that sounds good.
Ooh, should I be on a lake and have swimming lessons?
Yeah, let's make sure at least this is a rich school, fancy school.
This is a public school. Anyone can come to this school.
All right. Why don't you tell our listeners where they can find more episodes of the Pilot Podcast?
You can head to our website at thepilotpodcast.com, and you can follow us on all of your favorite podcast platforms.
You can also follow us on social media at The Pilot Pod, and you can send thoughts, feelings, show recommendations, because every other week we do a show recommended by you, our wonderful listeners, to askthepilotpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.
Bye.